Alright, here we go. It's another episode of the Modernist Guide for Popular Media. I'm JD. It's another, I guess, kind of metal music review. Only a little, though, this time. Diablo Swing Orchestra. They are a Swedish band consisting of 8 members, which is also most of their names in Swedish, mostly. So they are the reason why I'm going to stop naming every member of a band like an idiot. And that also saves me like 2 to 3 minutes, actually, which is sad and weird. But they're just this really fun, creative band, as their name suggests, with swing orchestra, putting as many instruments as they can with a bass line of really heavy, carrying grooves. They do everything from, swing to cabaret and tango, mariachi, samba, salsa. It's all there, and I don't know the distinct difference to explain it, but when you hear it, I think you hear it. Despite being around for about 15 years now, this is only their fifth record, Swagger and Stroll Down the Rabbit Hole. And interesting enough, I think personally that this is their most complete and thought out record. It goes for 14 songs and it's a full hour, but every song isn't that skippable to me. And usually they only have about maybe 4, 5 good songs, and then the rest are just super skippable because they're just short little experimentations or interludes or something like that. There's like no filler here at all. But that also means that there are several songs that clock in around like 6 minutes and have some really good build. But they try every different style they can think of to really grab your attention somewhere. There's at least 6 songs on here that I think I'm going to be obsessed with for a really long time. They're all dancey and vibrant and colorful. Like I said, swing music, that's what it does. My first favorite song is Painted Valentine, which just sounds like an ode to Mike Patton, who I've talked about before. He's everywhere, the most notable being Faith No More and Mr. Bungle. And just you can hear it in the vocals, and it's just this funky, aggressive, back and forth dancing kind of thing, and it's a lot of fun. There's another one, Speed Dating Arsonist, which takes that like old-timey radio sound and clips it through some electronic filter. It kind of reminds me of like Fatboy Slim or other big beat DJs from the late 90s and how they would fuse things together that way and manipulate vocals and other parts of it. And it's really fun. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. Out Come the Hummingbirds is like a deranged Cyndi Lauper track. It's their big dive into 80s new wave, I think. It's got the reverberated drums and all that, but it's just very maniacal and schizophrenic, with the female vocals on here going back and forth between being very small and chippy and just sounding deranged to just very full and verbose, which she does a great job on like any song she does that on. Malagan Monologues and Saluting the Reckoning are two where the male vocals really go back and forth with different styles and volume and singing octaves. Saluting the Reckoning specifically is like a very dark tango, with the male vocals being a la like the Monster Mash song or Screaming Jay Hawking from Put a Spell on You. And just, it's so good. He just sounds like a Disney villain lamenting over the princess who's like trying to get away or arguing with him or whatever. If you want to really check out how they like manipulate early styles into their own style, Snake Oil Baptism is just bluesy southern gospel Led Zeppelin. I'm not kidding you. That's what it sounds like, and it's fantastic. It's also one of the best songs on here. Jig of the Century is another one, and that one is just, swing, and they're just really good at it. And there's so any song is pretty good. Those are my favorites, and I would argue this is their most comprehensive and complete record, simply because their fourth one, Pacifista Cups, that came out in 2017, like had a delay of almost a year and a half and had so much production problems. But this album was done in like 2 years, even though it's been 5 years since the release of Pacifista Cuffs. But with COVID, I guess they just managed to all be able to kind of sit down together and get stuff done. And I just wanted to make this a review just so more people know about this band, know about the ability of just making simple stuff like cabaret and Spanish influenced dance music and swing and other 40s and 50s ragtime stylings more aggressive and catchy and groovy and rhythmic to the almost the metal stylings. It's not super hardcore metal or anything, but it's got those guitar riffs and drums, and it's all hypnotic, and it's just a damn good time. I'm going to give this an 8.25 because I really love it a lot, and that's my compromise, because it's probably a little lower for some people because some people don't like albums that are all over the place the way this record is, and I, probably want to give it a slightly higher rating. But ultimately, yeah, I think it's worth checking out if you just want something kooky and well put together. And that's it, and thank you so much for listening. You can like, share, subscribe, or if not, again, just being here, and have a good night.